to the bold analysis, Raila Amolo Odinga, the ODM leader, former President Uhuru Kenyatta and David Murathi have been spotted meeting in our Tamu Hotel in Kilifi, and this meeting has sent shockwaves straight in State House. And I would want us to look at the photos here. If you look at the photos, if you look at this, just a screenshot of a photo that has been taken from far. Of course, this was a secret meeting. It was not highly publicized, because even if you check William Ruto's, if you check Raila Odinga's Facebook page, you are not going to see this post. So Uhuru Kenyatta and Murathi met Raila Odinga in Watamu. I would want us to analyze the objective of this meeting, and we'll also look at these photos. First, we'll fact check, are these photos for today? You can also see Gideon Mungaro there. Before we get into that, I want to humbly request you guys, we are supporting these elderly women in Kakamega, and that is why I'm shooting this video in Kakamega. Tomorrow we'll start the process of building for the two. Now the story is one that is very very touching. The two grannies there are staying in one house, in that grass thatched house. Now why? The other one used to be somewhere where he was married, but because the place became hostile and she was pushed out and now became homeless, she's housed by this who is now like a friend. She's been staying here for a while. But even if you look at the condition of this house they're living, it is not in a very good condition. So this reached out to us. The other lady seated on the left, who then looks young, is actually the person that was taking care of them. So we are working around a strategy. We are working around this project to see how they can have houses. Wote huyu akona shamba yake Malioneleka, so it's going to be built huko. Then huyu tunaanza kumbuildia. I have a deficit. Of course, I have already collected 57,000. So tomorrow we're going to start, but I want to humbly request you, kidogo kidogo kujaza kibaba. The 50, the 100, the much you send is going to help us achieve this target. So kindly partner with us so that we can be a blessing to the grannies.
Nisimama.
Ndio tu.
Mimi hakuna nyumba. Mimi nataka kama Mungu nakubali usaidie nijengee nyumba. Naweza shukuru. Kwa maana hakuna uwezo.
Na ugonjwa? Ugonjwa?
Hata yake.
Nilikuja leo, maana kijana vile navijua nilikuwa Mombasa. Na hii ni kwa sababu ya mimi kwenda kushauriana na wanachama wetu wa chama chetu cha ODM Kenya mzima, ili kwanza nijue hali ya vile hali iko, shida ambayo ni wakabili, na vile tuongea juu ya suluhu ya mambo yao yote. Sasa jana tulikuwa Mombasa. Leo hapa vile gavana amesema, nimekuja na nimewaeleza swala nyeti, na wao wenyewe wakatoa maoni yao, viongozi hao wote. Wakasema shida iko hapa kiuchumi, wananchi wanaumia, hali ya maisha, gharama maisha imepanda, ushuru iko juu, kupani matibabu, hii mambo ya SHA bado haijafanya kazi sawa sawa. Wako na shida. Kwa upande mwingine pande ya ugatuzi. Shida hii ni kwamba pesa haiji ya kutosha hapa chini ya kufanya kazi sawasawa. Vilevile wamesema ati mambo ya miundo msingi vilevile haendeshi sawasawa. Mambo ya hii ujenzi ya masoko hata hii affordable housing vilevile kuna changamoto. Kwa hivyo yale yote wanataka waone kama vile inavyofanyika, lakini muhimu zaidi wamesema wanataka chama chetu cha ODM imarishwe na ODM iwe na nguvu kuendelea mbele ili wakielekea hata katika uchaguzi ambayo unakuja. Kwa hivyo wameongea mambo mengi, lakini kwa jumla wameniambia mimi ati nipatie ruhusa niendelee mbele. Kwa hivyo hakuna tofauti na yale ambayo nimesema jana. Sasa mimi nimetoka hapa na wakanipatia mimi kibali ili niweze kuzungumza na watu wengine, sio tu upande ile nyingine ya serikali, hata wenzetu wengine ambao wako kwenye upinzani kama Azimio. Kwa hivyo mimi nimefurahi na yale ambayo wameamua na mambo yamekwisha hapo.
Raila Odinga, I want us to look at those photos. If you look at the photos that Raila shared in his Facebook page today, the shirt that Raila is wearing in that meeting, the same na ile yenye ameshare today, is the same. So one thing you can confirm is that that meeting happened today. Number two, Raila Odinga's consultative forums, meetings, the perceived meetings, are actually being held in Kilifi today. So if you check his Facebook page, you will actually find out that Raila Odinga is in Kilifi. So this information coming now is coming also at a context, at a time when Raila is being sought by President Ruto so that he can come out and support his 2027 presidential bid. And let me tell you, I realized in Mombasa, Raila changed his tone. Raila changed his tone. Yesterday, he said some irreducible minimums, and he actually said today that they demand full implementation of NADCO before signing any deal. Just get a snippet of that speech and you'll understand the level of lobbying going on. Now, as that is happening, you'll understand that the transaction being led by Junet, they will really be shocked. They were in Migori, of course, saying the way those who want to take ODM to Amunyoro should actually leave the party. I did say something, and I will repeat it in this podcast. Raila's age is advancing, and if the family will not control who is around him, Raila is going to be hijacked. And the Junet team are actually hijacking Raila to take Raila to what, in my own opinion, is a political blunder. To make Raila do that political blunder because they are putting themselves in positions. What is the objective of Uhuru Kenyatta meeting Raila Odinga at this critical time? Remember, number one thing I can tell you is that meeting did not just happen by coincidence. And of course, those people did not meet in the compound. Those people met there and it was planned. If you look at who accompanied Raila, Gideon Mungaro. Gideon Mungaro worked under Uhuru Kenyatta as a principal secretary in charge of devolution. He was working under Eugene Wamalwa. Who was accompanying Uhuru Kenyatta? David Murathe. David Murathe was the Jubilee Party chairman. I think he's still the Jubilee Party chairman. So by all sense, there is something that is cooking between Raila Odinga and former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, first, there are two things that this meeting confirms. Number one, the narrative that the battalion, the Ruto battalion were running with, that Uhuru Kenyatta decampaigned Raila Odinga the AU, is null and void. Because if that narrative would be held strong by Raila's team, then Raila would have not met Uhuru Kenyatta. That's number one. Number two, it is also very clear that Raila is weighing out options, and all the options are on table. The other observation I'm making from this meeting is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is right at the center of the 2027 general election. And however, I don't know what the people will choose to say, whether he represents, Rigathi Gachagua represent who, but in whatever influence, the level of influence that Uhuru Kenyatta is having, Uhuru Kenyatta is at the center of the 2027 general election, and you cannot write him off. Now, what is the objective of this meeting? Number one, what I'm seeing, there is an effort, and I think the opposition force that Kalonzo and Rigathi are working with are zeroing on Raila Odinga's influence. And I think it is part of consolidating the opposition voices. Let me tell you, I know that if Raila goes to the ballot, he will go without Kalonzo. So 2 million is away from that 7 million that he usually gets. He usually gets around 7 to 6 million. 2 million is off of it. But if Raila is in ballot and the Kalonzo team are in ballot, and I differ with the guy on this, then they are going to have a divided opposition. And one thing that is happening here is, I think the opposition benches are leaving no stone unturned, and they want to have a solid, consolidated force to knock out William Samoei Arap Ruto. I know the country have schemed and have praised President Ruto as a man of strategies. But the truth of the matter here, if Raila jumps ship to join this other Kalonzo camp and accepts to endorse any other candidate, William Ruto is not there. Remember, I agree with what Khalid Amisi said, that when Raila is not on ballot, then you should not count on his vote. The million votes that people talk about might not actually be there. So that is the first observation I'm making. Number two, the power signing agreement between Raila Odinga and William Ruto is at standoff. And that power agreement is at standoff. Remember, I told you, and probably sometime I'll confirm to you, that when Raila was in Mombasa, ile siku last Tuesday, that was the day that deal was supposed to be signed. And the whole thing was organized as a state function because there was supposed to be publicly relaying a document. Remember when the president was there, the president was even putting some, there was a notebook with seal, with the public seal. So that is really a matter that is being put there. Now, the other angle of Uhuru meeting Raila Odinga is to echo the sentiments that Kalonzo, that Rigathi Gachagua have said. Rigathi Gachagua have said, I am willing to support Raila Odinga, and if we support Raila Odinga will be the president at 3 a.m. I don't, and at 11 a.m. First, I don't support Raila candidature in 2027, even though Rigathi says that. But when you see Uhuru making the same, that statement still stands with Uhuru Kenyatta. That the issue of Gema revolving around Raila Odinga is a solid point. And why Uhuru Kenyatta is coming, and why the presence of Uhuru Kenyatta is very critical at this point, is because when the president is working on his mobilization scheme, the one tactic he's using is to set the country against the Gema community. Now, to deflate that, to disarm the president of that move, then the only thing you need to do is to ensure, number one, that you have Raila Odinga crossing this side. Remember, the whole conundrum, let me use that mongrel thing, that Ruto speaks with Raila Odinga. They normally talk about Kikuyu versus 41. Kikuyu versus 41. Now, when you pluck Raila out of it, it is very clear. It is very clear that from my point of view, Ruto and the team, Uhuru Kenyatta will successfully dismantle that narrative. Lastly, when you see Uhuru Kenyatta is an institution, and I believe he represents a clique of influential people, even within Mount Kenya community. There's one thing you need to understand is that Rigathi keeps on saying this, that the businesses, the scheme to destroy the game economy is there. The scheme is silently being put there. That's why you see somebody say, oh, roads were being taken to one place, all this, all that. And I think the people have realized, and I want to believe as a former president, he can still have intelligent leakages of what exactly is happening in the country. Uhuru Kenyatta knows very well that if Ruto loses the next general election, there is nothing he will do and will go home. That's one thing. Uhuru Kenyatta side with this thing. So, and this is something that people have been telling Raila Odinga, that even if you support William Ruto, you're going to fall with him.